Good evening. I just thought I would give you a quick update tonight on some of the things that's happened in the last week. And I'm quite sure you're all very well aware that Scotland is taking its tentative steps out of lockdown. And we know that some of the restrictions are beginning to ease. And I'm just going to ask you all to be careful in how you approach that release from lockdown. There are clear guidelines from the government. There are some things that are not so clear, but I would always tell people to use their common sense and do things in an appropriate way for the situation that you find yourself in. The rules are that you can visit in someone else's garden, or just make sure that social distancing is kept in place, and make sure also that you keep washing your hands just to prevent any transmission of disease. If it comes to Orkney, we want to be absolutely doing the right thing. There's a lot been said this week about people's travel and people coming to Orkney. And as you know, there are probably, 300-400 people coming in every single week as things are at present. People who need to travel for their work, people who work offshore and in the Merchant Navy and in a number of these other jobs where people have got to go away for, and also people who are still returning home after being away for a long time. So we're just asking people when they do come to Orkney to be very careful, monitor your health, make sure that you are strictly keeping to the rules when you come here. During the week, we have been engaging with the Islands Minister again, and we're still pursuing some of the opportunities that we may have to make Orkney a little bit safer, but also to let Orkney be released a little bit sooner on the scale that the government has set on the phasing. We need to be very mindful of people's safety, but at the same time, we're really conscious that some of the things that we'd have to put in place to do it in the way that the rest of Scotland are moving forward will be extremely costly to implement in Orkney. And so we really want to make sure that we are getting as much discretion and local variation that we possibly can into that. We've heard often from the government about islands being different, and so we are very different. So we are really pushing time and time again to see where we can get some sort of regional variations. And that's particularly true when we speak about schools reopening in August now, as we know, and the incredibly difficult things that we've got to go do to make sure all these things can happen. So public transport's a challenge for us, ferries are a challenge, reopening of schools is a challenge. But one of the things that we're really been quite pleased with this week is just the way when we've collected all the glass that we did this week, that even after 8 weeks of you storing it up, we've almost collected as much as we would have over those times. So that is really, we want to thank everybody, both for sticking by the rules, but also saving up these recyclates, which we will now be able to process. Next week is a different challenge, because the challenge with the glass was the incredible weight of it. This week we are collecting plastics in the same way that we collected glass. Put your stuff out on the day you would normally have a collection, and we will be trying to collect all the plastics. But what we'd ask you to do on that basis is to make their volume as small as we can, so that we don't have to run the trucks quite so often, so that we can get around the whole circuit. So please, if you possibly can, flatten some of these things, put it in as small a space as you can. That would be extremely helpful. And also, as you are well aware, the civic amenity sites, the household waste recycling centres are opening, and they're opening only for garden waste. That's another waste stream that we've had a lot of communication about, and we're going to try and clear that away as if we possibly can. So only garden waste. And please, as you go to these sites, will you please have consideration? If there's a long queue, please come back at another time. This is going to be available for quite some time, so please don't all rush on the first day, but at the same time, if we get a steady flow of people disposing of the garden waste, we will get that all dealt with if we possibly can, as soon as we possibly can, and we will go on over the next month to try and sort out the way forward as these things open up. So again, the weather looks set fair for the weekend. That is really fantastic for us being able to visit in gardens, as we've been told. And I think that it's really good that you're going to get a chance to see loved ones. You're getting a chance to move about a bit. But please be cautious. Please be careful, and please be considerate of each other. Thank you very much.